Chelsea take on Fulham tomorrow at 12:30 in the Premier League. So let's take a little break from the chaotic, tumultuous penultimate days of the transfer window and talk about what we can expect to see tomorrow. Welcome, Blue Believers, to another episode of the Stamford Sync, where we are syncing up with everything Chelsea FC. And I'm just glad to get back to the football, man. This is what it's really all about for me. I'm very new to this whole YouTube journalism thing, and the transfer window is bending my head a little bit. It's all been great fun, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I'm really here for the football, so I'm excited to talk about it. But guys, before we get into it, if you're enjoying the content and would like to see more, please do me the distinct honour of liking and sharing the video, subscribe to the channel, or just roast me in the comments, whatever gets you through your day. Right, so tomorrow's game against Fulham. Now, we are coming off the back of a absolutely brilliant win, 5-1 against West Ham, an absolute demolition job. It was great to see. We absolutely love to see it. And it actually helped to see the bigger picture, which is something that's been really important, right? One of the things that I myself and lots of other Chelsea fans have been talking about is what do we do when Cole Palmer's not available, right? Cole Palmer pulled up with a groin injury at the start of the last game, last minute change. Esteval came in, João Pedro played in the 10. And we won 5-1. And what that absolutely shows you is we don't have to rely on Cole Palmer. Don't get me wrong. He is almost definitely still going to be our best player this season because he is unbelievable. But when push comes to shove and Cole Palmer's not available, all of a sudden we don't look completely devoid of ideas anymore. Now, this needs to be caveated against the fact that it is a West Ham who are going through their own tumultuous period, right? Just a little hot take before I get really into the Fulham stuff. So, regarding West Ham, Jose Mourinho has just been sacked from Fenerbahce, hasn't he? And West Ham can't be happy with Graham Potter because he's just not very good, is he? Let's be honest. But they're in a relegation battle. If they carry on going the way they're going right now, they're in a relegation battle. I would not be surprised to see Jose Mourinho at West Ham before the end of the international break. And that would be cinema, man. I love Jose Mourinho and I would love to see him back in the Premier League, especially now we've got one of our games against West Ham out of the way. But yeah, just a little hot take there. But right now, let's get back into the Fulham stuff. So 5 different goal scorers against West Ham, and I do expect most of them to start for this game. But let's talk about Fulham a little bit, right? Fulham have played 2 games in the Premier League so far, a 1-1 draw with Brighton and a 1-1 draw with Man United. So that tells you that they're not getting battered, which is really good. That 1-1 draw with United looked a little bit more flattering before United just got served on a plate by Grimsby in the League Cup. Do you know what I mean? So that's quite positive for us at the end of the day. Brighton are a good team, man. Brighton are a reasonably good team and probably in and around the same level as Fulham. So, you know, kind of, although, yeah, Fulham are coming off a win in the Carabao Cup as well, but ultimately against a slightly less worrying and dangerous team. So it feels pretty good so far going into this game. Maybe not another 5-1 like the West Ham game, but I wouldn't expect it to be quite as dodgy as the Crystal Palace game. I expect there to be goals and ultimately I expect us to go out as winners. So team news, right? Team news. Who is not available? So we already know about Cole Palmer, pulled up with a groin injury. Badiashile, going to be out until September, so we won't see him for a little while either. Lavia is still out, and of course Levi Colwill is out for the season. So as far as we know right now, that is all of the news in terms of players that won't be available. Everyone else should be available, bar new signing Alejandro Garnacho, who will not have been registered in time to play the game against Fulham tomorrow. So also with Garnacho, we'll see him after the international break. So with the team news out of the way, let's have a look at my predicted 11 for the game against Fulham tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. in the Premier League. And we'll start with the goalkeeper because we always start with the goalkeeper and we always start with Robert Sanchez, right? And I'm starting to have a smile on my face about that. I'm not like Robert Sanchez is the guy, don't get me wrong, but he's just been so much better over the last sample size of like the last 10 games or whatever since the Club World Cup, you know, the Conference League final, the pre-season friendlies and the start of the Premier League. Arguably, he could have done a little bit better for the goal, obviously Paqueta's rocket in the West Ham game, but it wasn't like awful. And at the end of the day, the main thing, you know, goalkeepers make these little mistakes all the time. The big problem with Sanchez has been the crazy errors that have led to goals, and the errors, you know, there was like 5 of those last season, 3 of which categorically cost us points. We're not really seeing anything like that. Robert Sanchez looks to have found a new level of confidence, which is so important for a goalkeeper. So for me, I'm happy to put him in the sticks against Fulham. Reece James was rested for the start against West Ham, so I expect him to come back in right back for this game. You know, it's always good to have Reece James on the pitch. He has just been called up for the England squad. He's the only Chelsea player this time that has made it into that squad. But at the same time, He's, he wasn't, he didn't miss the game because he was injured or anything like that. We're just being protective with him. He obviously came on towards the end of the game. That was a week ago. He's had a bit of time off. I expect him to start this game, and we always need Reece James on the pitch because, as well as just being a good defender, he's one of those guys with a bit of magic. You never know, a free kick or a loop-in pass, or he can really make something happen, especially if he is going to be inverting into that midfield. Centre-backs, I don't expect us to continue with the Josh Achiampong experiment. I think he will be saved a little bit, but it was good to test him out in that game when Tosin wasn't available. So my first centre-back will be Tosin Adarabioyo, who will ostensibly play that centre role, right, that we've learned about quite recently and that Maresca really, really needs in his team. Tosin is the only other guy in the squad that he comfortably feels like can play that role other than Levi Colwill. Josh Achiampong's still learning it, so it makes sense. If we want to go out and get a strong win before the international break, Tosin gets the start. And on the left side of defence will be Trevor Chalobah, who got a goal in the last game, and what a comeback story for him it has been. I really, really like Trevor Chalobah, man, and I've been, if you've been watching my channel, I've been doing this for 3 months now. If you've been watching me from the start, I've always said Trevor Chalobah, I want him to stay. Great player, great character, man. Do you know what I mean? To go through everything he's gone through and to be treated like he was by the club, with being in the bomb squad and then the loan to Crystal Palace and being dragged back halfway through the season. He is a Chelsea boy and he has come in and he's doing it, man. He looks like a great player. He can do these long looping passes over to the right-hand side, which could really benefit people like Pedro Neto or Esteval, whoever's out there. But and he got a goal in the last game, man. So he's got to start, hasn't he? He's in form. He's a great player. He's still young. He's got so much to offer the team. Trevor Chalobah gets the start. Left back, Marc Cucurella. I just say the same thing every time, man. We all love Marc Cucurella, don't we? One of the best left backs in the Prem, if not the world. It would be crazy to leave Marc Cucurella out of any game at the moment. For me, he's become our new Azpilicueta, and I do not necessarily mean in the way that he plays, because obviously he's a very different stylistic kind of player to Azpilicueta, but he's a constant 7 out of 10. He is just a player that you don't need to worry about, and Maresca will love him because he can give him different positions game by game, or even mid-game, depending on what's going on. He can play a normal left back. He can be the left side of a back three. He can do the byline winger stuff to allow your left-sided winger to come inside more, or he can do that inverted midfield thing, play as a number 8 or find his way up into the number 10. He scored 7 goals last season. He got an assist against West Ham. Marc Cucurella is absolutely fantastic and gets the start. And the midfield picks itself, man. I mean, it's kind of always been picking itself. I made a bit of a rogue shout in my last predicted lineup for West Ham, saying I might like to see Andre Santos. But at the same time, Enzo Fernandez got his goal and, he absolutely deserves to get the start. So Enzo Fernandez is going to start in midfield and he will be partnered by none other, of course, than Moises Caicedo. Moises Caicedo also got a goal in the last game, and if he's adding numbers to his game, mate, we might be looking at the next midfield general genius. Do you know what I mean? Moises Caicedo, like Cucurella, is just so reliable. Enzo Fernandez got great numbers last season, but sometimes can be a bit of a passenger on the pitch, right? Since Moises Caicedo has come into his own, since when we bought him in that first season, and it was a bit rocky at the start, got sent off in his first game, didn't he? But since he got over that, he has just been an 8+ out of 10 every single time, and it would be crazy not to start him in this game if he's fit. So the attacking 3 in our 4-2-3-1 today. I'll start on the left side and I'm going to go Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto, man. And again, similar to Trevor Chalobah, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I really rate Pedro Neto. And people always want to see the likes of Jamie Gittins or Esteval William play over him because they are a bit flashier. Pedro Neto is not a flashy player, but he is just solid, man. Absolutely solid. And he got his goal in the last game as well. So he's got to start based on form, right? He's absolutely got to start. I'm putting him on the left, which probably already spoils who I'm putting on the right. But Pedro Neto is such a good player. And for me, again, I just compared Marc Cucurella to Azpilicueta. I'm starting to get Willian vibes from Pedro Neto. And again, stylistically, not exactly the same, but so reliable. And ultimately, what's he like, 25, 26? Do you know what I mean? He's just behind Tosin in being one of the senior players in our team now. For me, Pedro Neto plays really well on the left, really well on the right. He will do a job up top when he's been asked to, and that Maresca will absolutely love that he's so versatile. So Pedro Neto gets the start on the left for me. And so, as I've spoiled it already, let's go to the right. It's Esteval William, right? we just want to see more of this kid play. And one of the blessings in disguise from Cole Palmer being injured is it's less of a question at the moment. He got an assist in the last game. He got a goal in his first game in preseason for us. He looks like he's terrorizing defenders already. People are worried about him. Yeah, okay, he's young, man. Do you know what I mean? I don't buy that. A couple of people have been trying to say that it was his fault that Paqueta got that goal for West Ham because he lost the ball in midfield. Don't buy that at all. A, it was a great goal, man. A really, really good goal. No one saw that coming. And B, if you're going to blame someone, which I don't really think we need to because we won 5-1, but the onus goes on the defenders and Sanchez, doesn't it? At the end of the day, if it gets past you in midfield, the job of the defenders and the goalkeeper is to stop what happens. So I absolutely do not put any of that on Esteban Willian at all. I think that he is just going to get better and better and better every game. And again, for me, there's maybe an argument for Jamie Gittins instead of Esteban Willian and putting Pedro Neto on the right, sorry, with the two Pedros now. I've got to stop just saying Pedro. But for me, it's Esteban Willian on the right-hand side, and I think we might see a bit more of that Samba magic in this game. So in the centre of attack, I'm going to go for João Pedro, right? And that's because he proved he can do a really good job there, man. A goal and 2 assists against West Ham. Absolutely phenomenal showing. He is like our top numbers guy since he joined, right? And he just came straight into the team with like a week of like training before the Club World Cup. And he just keeps scoring. And from that number 10 position, he's getting assists. He is reliable. He is dangerous. He is a worry. He will terrorize defenders. And he can do a bit of everything, man. Do you know what I mean? So in the absence of Cole Palmer at the moment, I know we would like to see more of Esteban Willian in the 10, but João Pedro's got the stuff he needs, man. Do you know what I mean? And we are seeing that game after game. So João Pedro gets the start in the middle, and of course that leaves us no other option. And I'm not necessarily sad about this, by the way, then putting Liam Delap up top as well. Liam Delap hasn't caught fire for Chelsea yet. Do you know what I mean? He's got a couple of goals over, got 2 goals in pre-season, 1 or 2 goals in the Club World Cup. He hasn't absolutely caught fire yet, and he's still figuring out his role in the team, and Maresca's probably still figuring out the best way to use him because he's a very, very different profile of striker than the likes of João Pedro and Nicholas Jackson, who it is that we had before. So Liam Delap will be good in this game because it gives, he's a bit of a bully, bit of a flat track bully, and against a defensively resolute team, which Fulham have been quite good at, they're not conceding lots of goals. Someone like Liam Delap might open up space for a João Pedro or an Esteval to get in there and do something special. Ultimately, we really hope he opens his Premier League account, right? We want to see Liam Delap starting to score goals. And Liam Delap has to look at Cole Palmer being out and see this as an opportunity. Do you know what I mean? Because what he won't want to happen is when Cole Palmer comes back, we just put João Pedro back up top again. Do you know what I mean? Liam Delap will be like, right, I need to make sure that when Cole Palmer comes back, it's not just put João Pedro up top. It needs to be, I need to be thought about, and maybe we put Delap in this game as well. So, guys, that is my starting 11, my predicted starting 11 for Fulham tomorrow. Tell me what you think. I think I've played it pretty safe this time. This is largely, bar the change for Reece James and Malo Gusto, this is largely the team that we put out against West Ham, right? But you can see why it works. Absolutely, you can see why it works. I don't expect this to be as free-flowing as the West Ham game was, and maybe we're not going to end up with 5 different goal scorers. But also, I don't expect it to be as dodgy as the Crystal Palace game. So for that reason, I'm going to predict this game is a 3-1. I don't always do score predictions, but I've got a little feeling in my bones about this one. It feels like it could be a 3-1. So we're in great form, and we should continue that against Fulham, right? Shout out to Reece James. I think I mentioned it once already, but obviously he's got into the England team and for the international break, which is great. As long as it's done well, right? As long as it's done well. Trent Alexander-Arnold has actually missed out, and I don't know if that's because of injury, but it totally makes sense that Reece James, having played for him before, is Tuchel's preferred option for that right-back role because he's a good defender as well as an excellent assister and passer, and he's the whole package, isn't he? We love Reece James. If he gets injured in the international break, I will lose my mind because then we're just going to see Malo Gusto again all season, aren't we? But yeah, that's it, guys. So tell me what you think. Would you do anything different? Let me know your predictions in the game. Drop them in the comments, man. Let's have a little chat about it. I'm going to wrap the video up there. I'm sure there's going to be lots more crazy transfer news over the next couple of days. I will again tonight be featuring on a live stream on the Blue Lounges channel, and I am really loving these live streams, man. It is so good to talk to Nizion of Blue Clouds Media. It is great always to talk to Behind the Dugouts. We started at the same time. time, so he's 100% one of my bros. And Mo is an absolute legend, man, and it is a real pleasure and an honour to be able to feature on these streams as much as I have. So if you're going to be around at 10 o'clock tonight, come and have a chat with us, man. We chat in the comments, we chat to each other, you know, we're chatting about the news, but also we go into other stuff as well. We're going to obviously be talking about the Fulham game tonight, but we're probably going to have some things to say about the Xavi Simons stuff as well, right? And I personally have a little bit of egg on my face around that one because I was sure this wasn't going to happen. Speaking of the Xavi Simons news, I did just release a video earlier today about my feelings on the Xavi Simons news with him going to Tottenham. Go and check that out if you haven't already. Nice one for sticking around until the end of the videos if you did, guys. I will catch up with you all very, very soon. Take it easy. Peace.